I'm going to show you how to create this galaxy lettering effect in the iPad Procreate app. So to start off, I just have this brand new blank canvas. I'm going to tap the layers button in the top right corner, and I have my background color is white, which I can just leave that how it is. And then for layer 1, I'm going to name colors. And this is where I'm going to be doing the bright colors of my galaxy. So let me tap out of that. I'll go to my brush. I'm going to select an airbrush. So go to airbrush, and I like to use the soft airbrush. And then I have over here on the left, you can change the size of it. I'm going to put mine at full size, and then the button below that is for opacity. So I'm going to make mine 100% so that it's not see-through. Next, I'm going to pick my colors. So in the top right corner, I have created this palette below here. You can see there's purples, blues, and pinks. I'm going to start off with the blue. I'll select this bright blue right here. Tap back onto my canvas, and then I'm just going to cover most of this canvas with this light blue color. It doesn't have to be perfectly covered completely. Next, I'm going to change my color and do the darker blue next to it. And I'm just going in kind of random motions with this same airbrush. I'm going to change to a pink color. You can use any colors you'd like for this technique. I think these look really nice together. I'm going to add in some purple. Let's do this purple right here. And then I'm also going to add some black. So I'm going to choose black, but instead of making it full opacity, I'll show you what that would look like right here. See how dark that is? I'm going to tap with 2 fingers to undo that. I'm going to change the opacity to about 50%-ish, right about here, and just do a couple of dark areas just to darken things up a little bit. So I'm going to create a new layer and call it stars. Okay. I'm going to change my color to white by you can go from the disc to the classic palette and then come up and bring it all the way to the top left. I'm going to change my brush. Instead of using the airbrush, I'm going to go down here towards the bottom and choose luminance, and then glimmer I've chosen. And I've increased the spacing from what the default setting was to about 72%. Okay, and then the size I'm going to make about 20% here, and it's going to be 100% opacity. And now I'm just going to go in circles and just kind of cover this randomly like this. Okay. Now I'm going to actually add another layer and call it bright stars. And here I'm just going to do some bigger, brighter stars that are spaced a little bit farther apart. So I'm on a new layer. I'm going to choose, instead of glimmer, I'm going to choose flare, which is the first brush. I have the spacing at max right here. Okay, and then opacity is 100%, and my brush size is 6 or 7%. And here I'm going to, I'll hide the stars layer just so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just going to go in circles to try to keep it random looking, like this. Okay, let me add back the stars layer. And actually, I think I'm going to add some even bigger stars. So I'm going to bring this up to about 19 or 20% and just do a couple more circles like this, just to add some bigger, brighter glimmers in here. Okay, so now if you're happy with how this looks, we can go on to the next step. You can always come back afterwards and adjust your colors. So I'm going to deselect my star layers so I can see my colors again. If you wanted to blur these colors a little bit, you could, while you're on the color layer, select this kind of wand icon in the top left and choose the second blur. And then if I were to slide this all the way to the right, it would completely blur everything. So I'm just tapping the screen and moving my pen to the right. I'm just going to blur it slightly, about 1% like this. And then I'm going to duplicate the layer and hit multiply. This is going to make the layer a lot darker. And then I'm going to select this M that I just made, or this M that came up right here on the layer, and change the opacity to about 50%. So that just kind of darkened up the colors for me. If I take that off, you can see the difference. So now my colors are a little bit darker. I'm going to add my stars back on here. Okay, and now I'm going to create a new layer on top of this, and this layer is going to be called lettering. Now make sure that you have white selected in the top right up here, and then when the layer is selected, you tap the layer and then choose fill layer, and it's going to fill my layer with white. So now we're actually going to be writing with our eraser. So I'm going to choose the eraser right up here in the right, and you can choose any brush you'd like. Okay, so now just to show you what it looks like, I have my eraser selected, and as I write on top of this white, it's erasing away part of this white layer to expose the layers beneath it. Okay, so if I open up my layers panel, you can see if I didn't have these colors here, then it would just be basically nothing. So I'm erasing the white part of this layer to show the layers that are underneath here, okay? So let's undo this, and okay, so now I'm back to where I was. So you can write whatever you want here. So I'm gonna start writing galaxy, and say I make a mistake, like I don't like how that looks, then if I wanted to fix the mistake, normally you would use an eraser to fix it, but since here we're writing with the eraser, the way to fix it is actually by going to your brush, selecting a brush. I like to choose Calligraphy and Monoline, and choosing the white color, and then you can change the size of your brush. So I'm going to make it really big, and then I can just go over the part I messed up on, and it basically erases it for me. So I'm just going to actually erase this whole thing. If you wanted to completely start over your layer, you could redo fill layer with white, and that would fill it back up. Okay, so I'm just going to write galaxy lettering with my eraser and show you what it looks like. Okay, for one last special effect, to add a little bit of shadowing, I'm going to add a layer on top of my colors layer. So I'm going to select colors and tap this plus sign up here, and I'm going to just name it shadow. Okay, so let's select black, and I'm going to select my soft airbrush again, and I have it about 50% opacity. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller here. And I'm just going to add some shadows, make sure I'm on the right layer. I'm going to start up by this G, the top of the G. I'm just going to add a shadow where the letter curves. So I'm going to add some shadows, just some small shadows. Let me make this a little bit smaller and a little bit less opaque. Small shadows wherever the letters curve, like this, just to add some more interest to the letters. Okay, so just to show you what that last step did, what the effect did, I'm going to deselect that shadows layer, and then you can see how it changes. So when I put it on versus when I take it off, you can see that the darkness just adds a little bit more dimension to the letters. So I just added some black shadows wherever the letter curves. Okay, also wherever there are kind of overlapping pieces of the letter, I added some shadows. So we would love to see if you guys try this galaxy lettering technique. Please be sure to follow us on Instagram and let us know if there's any more tutorials that you'd like us to do.